Hello, and welcome to my second video about how to prepare better for your spoken exam. Today, we'll be discussing IELTS Speaking Part 1. First, there will be a short quiz about this part, and after that, we'll be discussing some common topics and questions you might be asked in your exam. Let's go! Here is the quiz. There are 5 questions in total. Choose one correct answer for each question and write it down or type in the chat. Are you ready? Question 1. What is Part 1 about? Question 2. How long is Part 1? Question 3. How many questions does the examiner usually ask in Part 1? Question 4. What are the questions in Part 1 about? And question 5. How long should your answers be in Part 1? Have you answered all the questions? How was it? Were the questions easy or difficult? Before I reveal the answers, let's discuss the common topics and questions in IELTS Speaking Part 1. So, what are the common topics in IELTS Speaking Part 1? The common topics means groups of questions, areas or subjects that you might be often asked about. So what do you think are typical topics or questions that the examiner might ask you? Can you think of any? Please write them down or make a list before you move on. And now, as usual, a practice task for you. Choose 3 topics from below and make 3 to 4 example questions for each one. Choose the topics that you're not very familiar with. Make questions and practice them. In the next slides, you will see the topics and questions that I've prepared for you. Here is the first topic that I've chosen for you. Remember that the examiner will usually choose 3 topics with 3 or 4 questions each to ask you. So, here are 4 questions. The first one is general. Are clothes important to you? And then there are some follow-up questions. What kind of clothes do you usually wear? Where do you usually buy clothes? Do most people in your country follow fashion? Please try to answer these questions. Remember, record your answers. The next topic is happiness. The first 2 questions are personal. Are you a happy person? What usually makes you happy or sad? The third question is a little bit more general. What can a person do to have a happy life? Please answer the questions now. The third topic I've chosen is transport. How did you get here today? Here, it means to the exam center. What is your favorite means of transport? Why? Do you ever use public transport? Why or why not? What is the difference between traveling by train and by car? Answer these questions now. I've decided to choose 2 extra topics for this part. The first one is the past. You might be asked to talk about your past experiences, your childhood, what you did at a particular moment in the past. This way, the examiner might test your ability to talk about the past events, for example, using simple past, past continuous, past perfect, or even present perfect. What did you do last summer? Did you enjoy your childhood? How has your life changed since you were a child? Please answer these questions now. The next extra topic is talking about the future. You might be asked the following questions. What are you going to do next weekend? What job will you have 10 years from now? Or what will the world be like in 2050? The examiner might want to test your ability to talk about the future, using future simple, future continuous tenses, or to be going to for plans. Please practice these questions now. Hey, do you still remember the quiz we did at the beginning of this video? Let's check your answers now. Part 1 is about introduction and interview. You'll have to introduce yourself and answer some questions. This part is usually between 4 and 5 minutes long. There will be usually between 7 and 12 questions asked by the examiner. And you'll have to talk about yourself and a range of familiar topics, some of which we've practiced in this video. Try to say at least 2 to 3 sentences for each question, but it of course depends on the question and your ability to speak. And remember, bring your ID to the exam center on the exam day, because the examiner has to check your identity. I wish you good luck! That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please like, comment, share and subscribe. The next video will be coming soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.